it being a realistic situation and not a sting operation, that he still walked into the door, head held high, expecting to get some. That is ridiculous. Hopefully this dude was behind bars for a long, long time. It says they got him on multiple charges. I mean, I'm guessing that the whole God thing and him saying that he was a Virginia resident does not hold up in court, much like I said. It says he had 4 years in jail and 16 years of probation after this. So, again, that is a little bit shorter than I would expect for something like this, but I don't know how much evidence you actually need to be put away for a really long time. You'd probably have to go through with something like this, even though this shows that you were ready to go through with it, had Chris and the cameras not been there. Either way, I'm not a freaking lawyer, I don't know, but let me know what you thought of this episode down in the comments below, and what you thought of the youngest creep that we have caught on this show so far. This dude just looks like a normal guy, a frat bro that you would just see on the road and not think anything of him, and this whole time he's been an utter creep, ready to ruin someone's life and his own life by having this conversation with this decoy for weeks and showing up at their house. As always, I appreciate you guys watching until the very end. Hopefully you enjoy this one. The big end finale is up next, so make sure you're ready for that, and you hit the sub button and hit the notification bell if you haven't already, so you never miss an upload of mine. And as always, I'll see you guys in the next video. Until then, peace out.
Come to TurboTax and don't do your taxes. Meet with an expert who will do them for you, so you can do not your taxes.
What does it mean? Because I know that is 6. No, XI is 6.
I should know what this means.
Get with the times, football.
Your son, I am to me. I need you to come on over.
I was just chatting. I was just chatting. You're sitting in this kitchen naked. Come on. That's Decepticon chatting, isn't it?
What's good, YouTube? Welcome back to Grimm. Today I have an absolutely insane episode of a classic To Catch a Predator episode. This is a big throwback, and it's going to be the start of where I start to go over some of the older episodes that I either might have forgotten by now, because, again, I watched some of these as a child for entertainment, so obviously I've forgotten quite a bit. But this one I definitely have not ever seen, and this guy has got to be the most aggressive predator that has ever been caught on this show, simply because of how he shows up to this house. So if you want to see some absolute insanity, make sure you watch until the very end with me. But without any further ado, let's just get into this one. Yeah, I have no words so far. That is correct. You are watching what is actually this man walking into what he thinks is the person he's been talking to online's house, but really it's a decoy faking that it's, a 13-year-old kid. But he walks in his birthday suit, because apparently that's what people do when they go over to hang out with people as friends, which I'm guessing is going to be his #1 excuse, just like every other predator on this show. I just can't believe he actually did this, and what's kind of crazy is Chris even says that their decoy, their investigation unit, almost like told him to do this, because, they were not expecting him to actually go through with it. But then when they saw him on the cameras walk up with nothing on and a grocery bag full of snacks that he bought before, showing up, they had their minds absolutely blown, and I have to say mine is as well. This is freaking terrifying, and I'm not sure how they're going to have the decoy handle this, because that seems like a very, very sketchy situation.
Could you explain yourself?
The way this is shot, probably just because it's old and their set just seems like an older house, but something about this seems like it would be a really weird scene from like a Broadway play or something. It just doesn't feel real. He's sitting here looking somberly down as if he's just, patiently waiting for this person to arrive. Wouldn't you be kind of on edge looking everywhere, like you're doing something highly illegal while not wearing any clothes? You'd think this guy would be a little more tense about the situation, but no, he's just 100% sure this is a real kid here, and he's, just doing everything fine. Just wait till Chris wakes him up from that dream of his. Things are about to get good.
I'm sorry. What's going on here? Your son, I am to me. I need you to come on over.
He IM'd you.
Yes, sir.
Oh, I'm sorry, I must be at the wrong house. Like, what a weird response for this. You'd think he would be just aggressively apologizing, like, oh my god, it's not what it looks like. I don't know why I'm here. I don't know why I have clothes. I was walking outside, it was raining, and the rain was really heavy, and it pulled down all my clothes. Actually, no, my clothes literally just faded away in the rain. I don't think they're waterproof, so I actually came in here for shelter. There doesn't happen to be a 13-year-old boy in here, is there? This guy is actually a freaking moron. He shows up with no clothes, and then when asked for a reason, he doesn't lie or anything. He literally just says, your son IM'd me on the internet and told me to do this, so yeah, I just did it. I showed up without any clothes on. But yeah, it was your son that was messaging me online. Like, at least make up some sort of lie. I know it's probably not gonna help you out at all because they have the logs of the chats, and you showed up on camera where they had to blur the entire middle section of your body. So, you're pretty much screwed, but, you know, you can at least try to make a lie. It would be somewhat helpful, I'd imagine.
So he just chose you out of the blue and said, come on over and get naked and walk.
Well, I've been talking to him for a little bit.
Well, it wasn't out of the blue. We've been talking for a while, but yeah, you basically did tell me to come in without clothes, not just listen. What friends do. You just listen to your friends.
How old are you? I'm 29, sir. 29. And what do you do for a living? I drive a school bus. You drive a school bus? Yes, sir.
Oh my freaking god. I hope that is a lie because this man should not be around children, especially for his job. But also, he looks way older than 29. Maybe, for me, I don't know about you guys, but early 2000s people and before, when they were adults, they just by default looked older. Like a 20-year-old person to me, when I see a picture of them in the 90s, they just look like they're 40. I don't know what it is. Maybe there's some time dilation going on. But this guy looks way older than 29, and he definitely should not be driving a freaking school bus.
Feel better now. Walk-ins welcome at our new urgent care, conveniently opened until 10 p.m., even on weekends. We live in a busy world where it's difficult to make time to see your doctor. Or, if you call your doctor for an appointment, you can't get in for weeks. Today, everything must be pre-planned. Beauticians, designers, accountants, etc. all work via appointments made at least days in advance. But healthcare is one sector where you can't afford to wait.
Driving a freaking school bus.
What's your full name?
John Canale.
And you're a school bus driver or a teacher?
Teacher.
You're a teacher. I'm gonna need to see some ID.
Oh my god, he was lying about being a school bus driver and is apparently a teacher. That is even worse. He's spending an entire day teaching children in a classroom while in his off time going to those same children's houses with no clothes on. Put this man in jail for freaking life, and also let's just shame him on national television, please. So we got one of those done. Let's send him off to jail now.
Like this. Turned out later that he was neither a teacher nor a bus driver. In fact, he was unemployed and had been for some time.
Okay, good. This guy's just a weirdo and lies, but apparently he's a loser that doesn't have a job, so that is totally okay with me. I'm glad that he is nowhere near children in his day-to-day life with, you know, his career. But it is weird that he would lie about that. Maybe that's just an extra twist of his perversion or something. Also, this is the second time now that I've seen the decoy come out. He just takes the food just like the last time I saw the decoy come out. So apparently that's their only job once the person's been caught. And the whole sting is just to get their free snack from the person. I hope that's not the only way they're being compensated, and this kid actually got paid for this as well, because that's a scary situation to put yourself in, even though you are a 20-year-old that just looks like you're 14.
You're gonna tell me you've never done this before? So you just woke up this morning and said, I'm going to get involved in an internet conversation with a 14-year-old boy.
Yeah, for a first time, supposedly, which is, again, an excuse that literally every one of these stupid predators makes, but for a first time, that is a pretty extreme attempt. I mean, nobody is just, you know, delving their foot into this world that he has delved his foot into by diving in and walking into the house without clothes on. That is someone who is confident and has done this plenty of times before, which just adds another terrifying layer to this whole video. It's funny to laugh at the guy, but it is really scary thinking of the real-world implications of him being here right now. Like, this dude is an absolute grade-A creep.
Let me just see you.
I'm sorry, Harry doesn't hurt. What had happened?
And here we have a great defense mechanism that not many of these predators take, at least not that I've seen so far, but it is my favorite, thing that they do, which is cry. He just starts the waterworks and starts crying like a little baby that's been caught doing something they shouldn't do. And that's quite the understatement for what this guy was doing. This is something you should never do and never even think or consider doing. So the tears will not help, especially considering he's crying in a towel that was only supplied to him because Chris Hansen showed up instead of his 14-year-old boy. Otherwise, he'd still have no clothes on and be tear-free.
What would have happened, John, if I wasn't here? I probably would have chickened out, sir. Chicken out. Do you see why that is hard for me to believe?
And then he acts like he would have never followed through with it, which is, again, a classic play from these predators. And that literally never works once you cross the threshold of driving to the house and stepping foot inside the house. That shows that you were not going to chicken out, because if you were, it would have been the step before that, before you decided to drive, or while you were sitting in the parking lot thinking, should I go into this house? No, you went into the house, and I'm sorry I say this for the 100th time, did not have any freaking clothes on, you absolute pervert. So yeah, you did really think about it, and you were going to go through with it had there not been Chris and the camera crew here.
So you came here knowingly violating the law.
Kennelly was significant because not only did he admit what he was doing was wrong, he also admits that he knew it was illegal.
So boom, he admits that he knew what he was doing was wrong, and he admits that he knew it was illegal. Get the cops, take him off to jail like you should. I mean, that's how the show always goes, so let's skip to that stage, please. I'm sick of seeing this freaking weirdo.
I am not the father of the boy, but I am Chris Hansen of Dateline NBC, and we're doing a story on computer predators.
So they send them out, just like they always do, with the whole camera reveal, and this is the absolute highlight for me. This is the free dopamine supplied by every episode, because I just love seeing the reactions of them knowing that they're about to be shamed on national television, which at the time was viewed by many more people. Cable television was the only entertainment most people had, so this was being watched almost every single night, and this was still a relatively new show, so they did not know that this was a thing probably walking into this, and that just all makes it so much better. The other funny thing too is this cameraman that walks out is really aggressive. He walks up and shoves the camera right in this dude's face, blocking his path to walk out just to get that extra looming shot of his face so we really know his identity. Shout out to that guy. I hope he's still working with the crew to this day, or at least up until they stop filming the episodes, because that is some great, grade A camera work.
And he gets his underwear on and just beelines to get out of there.
And in the most mind-blowing development ever, I'm realizing that they actually did not include the cops for some reason in the beginning of this series. That's right, they let this guy walk off with his shameful head looking down to the ground, but he is a free man. They literally let him walk away after he walked into what he thought was a 14-year-old's house with no clothes on. That is absolutely mind-blowing to me. Apparently they just didn't have, the credentials or the credibility to be working with law enforcement yet. But in my opinion, you let someone go that does this, that's not really going to deter them. Yes, this was very shameful and scary, but they're just going to get smarter and try it again. I cannot believe that the cops did not show up. And guess what? This video is actually part one of a two-parter video, because what does this guy do? Not more than 24 hours later, he freaking re-offends and gets caught up in their sting operation once again, less than a day later. But the video already is pretty big so far, so I'm just gonna leave this one at that, and that part two will be up either tomorrow or the day after, so you guys can enjoy that. Make sure you hit the notification button if you haven't as well, just so that you're notified of every upload, so that you don't miss that part two. And if you made it to the very end of this one, let me know what you thought of this down in the comments below. This was quite an awkward encounter, but it was also hilarious, and I am terrified that they just let this man walk away after all of that. As always, if you made it to the end of this video, thank you so much for the support. I love my Grim Squad. You guys are the absolute best. And until next time, peace out.
There's no such thing as one tire fits all. And if you want your car to perform at its best, it starts with finding the right tire.
I chose the Bridgestone Potenza 980 all season.
I knew it was a setup.
No, I need you to sit down, please.
I need you to just arrest me and take me to jail and
I need to talk to you first. Please just sit down. Would you like some water?
I'm about to puke.
What's good, YouTube? Welcome back to Grim So sorry for the little hiatus. Like I said, I still have been dealing with coronavirus. I'm not sure how nasally my voice is going to sound in this recording. It sounds pretty bad in my head, but today I'm going to be reacting to a classic episode of TCAP where they catch yet another teacher. I don't know what it is about these teachers being freaking creeps, but this one is quite insane because this is possibly the most volatile and extreme reaction we have ever seen from one of these creeps on this show so far. So make sure you watch until the very end. And for those wondering how I'm doing, dealing with COVID right now, I at least can speak today, so that's good. And I felt if I didn't make a video, within the next couple of days, I was going to lose my mind because I enjoy making these videos for you guys. And yeah, it just has sucked not being able to. Basically, it feels like when you swallow a bunch of water up your nose and you feel that McDonald's Sprite feeling being poured like all over your brain and sinuses. I've pretty much had that burning sensation and I've completely lost my sense of smell and taste, but I at least am past most of the cold symptoms, so that's good. But anyways, that's enough about me. Let's get right on into this and meet this creep and watch him lose his mind as he's caught.
I was watching it for like 10 minutes.
He walks in with pressed jeans. He's the kind of guy you'd see standing in line at the dry cleaners of the grocery store. Never stick out of the crowd. Clean-cut guy.
So yeah, this is Walter we're meeting with quite a unique handle, I must add. I don't know how they pick these freaking usernames, but they're always pretty classic. Anyways, this guy is a teacher or works in the education field in some capacity. I'm pretty sure he's a high school teacher, and he is now walking into this decoy trap, and he's about to meet Chris Hansen and have an absolute mental breakdown as he realizes not only is his job over, but his personal life will never be the same, and he's probably going to the slammer for a good, solid chunk of time.
Hey, how are you? Why don't you have a seat right over there, please? And right away.
I'm under arrest.
No, I want to talk to you. Go ahead, have a seat.
I knew it. Go ahead.
You knew what? No, just sit down. And what are you doing here?
So he starts things off very rapidly. Again, in these older episodes, they clearly don't have much time where they talk to the decoy. I think they try to make the switch pretty much instantaneously. And in that same instance, this guy is realizing just how much his life has crumbled from this situation and this decision that he put himself into. And he is now just pleading like, please take me away, take me to jail, all this stuff. It's quite a unique strategy, I will admit. A lot of guys shut down and try to play it cool and hope that there's some way to talk out of this, but he pretty quickly realizes he's screwed and there's absolutely no way out of this for him that ends positively.
And what are you doing here?
Getting your kicked. I knew it. I knew it was a setup.
No, I need you to sit down, please.
Well, if you knew so strongly, why'd you still show up to the house, idiot? I mean, you could say that all day, but if you truly knew it was a setup, you would have stopped talking to this decoy long before it got to the point of you getting in your car and driving across town or across many towns for many of these situations just to meet this person that you definitely thought was a real person up until about 2 seconds ago when the rug was pulled out from under your feet.
No, I need you to sit down, please.
I need you to just arrest me and take me to jail and exit.
I need to talk to you first.
You know what? I didn't bring anything. I didn't want to do anything. Whatever.
Just take me, drag me down to the public square, put my head in the freaking guillotine, and just finish this already, alright? I understand, I'm in big trouble. Like, dude, you can sound so extremely apologetic, but it's clearly still a defense mechanism. You gotta sit here and talk to him about this situation you put yourself in, okay? You can't just fess up and say, take me away. It doesn't work like that, alright? He's gotta read the chat transcripts. There's a whole process here. You don't understand. We're filming great television. I need you to just play along, alright?
Now, who are you here to see?
I don't even know. And you know what? I'm going to ask you something. Am I under arrest?
You're not right now, no.
And of course the answer to that is, well, not right now. We gotta talk about this. That's how Chris always responds to it. But I love that this dude is just not wanting to have this conversation and just needs to know who this guy is and why he's there and if he's gonna get either A, beat up, or B, taken away by the cops. Like, this dude's head must be going absolutely wild as he's trying to piece together what's happening.
Now you...
Hurry! Kohl's February clearance event for savings you don't want to miss. Save up to 70% while you still can, with thousands of new markdowns added on must-haves like home favorites, active wears, jeans, sweaters, boots, and PJs. Kohl's.
Piece together what's happening.
Now you were here... No. I want you to sit down, please.
I need to go. Can I go?
I want to talk to you a little bit more first. Please just sit down. Would you like some water?
No, I'm about to puke.
Oh, just
see this dude is really not having a good time, and that's one of the things that made this episode so unique and so beautiful. Usually we see them kind of lose their temperament and start to freak out, but this is a whole other level. This dude is having a straight up panic attack as a result of this, and I don't feel bad for him one bit, because you put yourself in this position when you choose to do the things that he chose to do. So this is just him meeting the consequences of his actions, something that I kind of expect. This guy has not had to do much in his life, just based on the way that he's reacting right now.
What do you do for a living?
I'm in education.
You're in education. A teacher. What grade do you teach?
High school.
High school.
And I love that he clarifies so quickly. High school. I teach high school, okay? Those kids are way too old for me to even look at them in that way, all right? Definitely, I would not teach middle school or elementary, but I teach high school where it's not an issue. So please don't call my school. Don't tell them any of this happened, because I really need this job.
Please, sit down.
I won't go anywhere. I'm not going to do anything.
What are you wearing at the moment? I sleep in.
Please don't read it. I know what it says.
Please don't read it, dude. I typed it out. I know what the hell this chat transcript says, okay? We don't need to go through all this. Just please put me in the cuffs already. Like, this dude is about to have a full-on heart attack. And meanwhile, Chris the Savage is just reading these transcripts fully, like, not caring, dude. You're gonna sit here and you're gonna listen. Also, I don't know what it is, but he has these magical powers where the person can be trying to leave or freaking out, pacing around, and he tells them to come over here and sit down, and they just listen. They're like an obedient dog, and he's just their owner that gives them every command they need, and they just follow it exactly to the T. This dude, Chris Hansen, has magical freaking powers, dude.
You know, that's against the law right there.
Is it?
To transmit that to somebody who you think is... Yes, it is.
No, I didn't transmit that to her. May I ask?
Do you see my pic in the chat window? Yeah.
And then here, Chris hands over an image that this guy sent over the internet that he tries to deny sending, only for Chris to immediately read the next messages where he asks, "Did you get my image in the chat window?" And the decoy says, "Yeah." That could not be more perfect immediate evidence to use against him. He's like the freaking investigator in LA Noire. He had the exact evidence to back it up, and he just instantly threw it back in his face. That is beautiful. This entire episode has been making me feel honestly so much better for the short time being, just reacting to it. That's how entertaining it is.
I can't see. I'm crying.
Well, there's pretty much from the get-go.
So, as a desperate last attempt to get some info out of him, Chris asked this guy one more time what people are going to think of this and what he was thinking doing this. And at that point, he could tell he was about to literally bolt out of the door from just pure stress.